and welcome to episode 501 of the PUCL podcast. I am your host, Thatch, and today things are going to be a little bit different because Thatch wanted to take a week off, but he also decided that you guys can also have an episode. And at the same time, give a little spotlight to those of the people that help make the show what it is. Co-hosts and other people who are staff members in the community are going to be on here today. We're going to rotate about every half hour or so with different people. We are in Discord right now, so people can actually come in and ask their own questions. And so up front, we've got none other than Lord Seth Vilo of Scotland. And
it is I.
And we've got the TCG maestro himself, Basket.
What's up, everybody?
So we've got these two boys right here. We got a few people listening to us over on Discord on the stage. Does anybody have a question to start us off with? If not, I'm going to ask them really dumb things. We see that Submediant is coming. We're going to pop him in here real quick. Submediant, accept my request to come onto the stage. Submediant, hello.
Hey, what's up?
So my question is pretty simple. How do you make the perfect grilled cheese?
Oh,
that's a good one.
okay.
I'm gonna kick you
I've got
off
this
now.
one. I've got this one right here.
Yeah,
All right,
you
so-
take it first.
Okay. First, what you do is you get yourself this one bread that I don't remember the name of. It's a dark, sweet bread. So
isn't
it's
that
like,
just like
black.
isn't that just like pumpernickel?
No, not pumpernickel. No, you're gonna ruin it with pumpernickel. No,
You think
it's
so?
like a really dark, sweet bread, and it has all these different nuts around the edges of it. Right? It's got like sunflower seeds.
Isn't that just
And,
like whole wheat bread?
It's not whole wheat bread, man. It's dark and sweet. That's what it's called on the little package. Anyways, so you grab that, and then
Do you buy this as like a loaf or?
yeah, it's like
Okay.
a loaf bread. Yeah,
Buy it by the slice. We're at
yeah.
that
Buy it
level
by
of
the
bread.
slice. That's how precious this bread is.
Could you imagine you go to a bakery and like they just like sell you 2 slices of bread for a sandwich? Like,
Hey, man, if it was good enough, I'd do it. As long as it wasn't too expensive. But yeah, okay. So then you take the bread and you put mayo on both sides of the bread, and then you put sharp cheddar, nice thick slices of sharp cheddar on there, and then you lay it in the pan on one side with some butter on the bottom of the pan, and you let it cook there for a little bit till it gets nice and, well, not golden brown because it's black bread, but it gets really nice. And then flip it over to the other side, and then you put a little top on it for a little bit, help the cheese melt. But then, secret, you take the top back off, and then you flip it back over on the other side, so it'll both be crispy. And you pull it out, and you eat it. Also, you can add blue cheese to that and provolone and make it really cheesy, and throw some tomato in there.
is it even a grilled cheese if you add tomato though?
It's still grilled cheese.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I've never heard of someone be like, I would like I don't know, tomato and cheese sandwich.
A tomato
grilled
and
cheese with
cheese.
tomato.
I don't know. It's a tomato and cheese sandwich. I don't know. Seth, you can answer this question if you would like. If not, Basket has answered it very much.
You know, have you ever, Basket, yours sounds delightful, very honestly. Very much comfort food for a cold, rainy day that you just really need to think about that. But, I'm sitting here, I think that's a little too many steps for me. I'm a little bit more simple. So I think what I would do, and the way that I would make this grilled cheese, I have yet to do this, but So step 1, you get one of those mozzarella cheese sticks, the ones that you peel open and you just like string cheese, those kind of things.
I'm following you.
You get one of those, fresh out of the fridge, has to be cold, has to be nice and cold. And this next step is the most important. You take your bottle of Soylent and stick the cheese stick in.
Wait. I hate you. Never mind. This is that's a set answer. Yes, that's a set answer.
And you're done. You drink it.
Oh,
Done.
You
Easy.
and your nonsense. Okay.
My latest food fad.
So I'm gonna follow everything up with another question. For everybody else. for both of you, because I want this to be somewhat Puckle or Pokemon related.
Yeah.
And not just grilled cheese, the grilled
Not
cheese
just-
show, which it will turn into because I know Sabidia will ask that question of everybody that comes on today.
Every single person.
And so I would like to ask you two, both of you, this is a question for both. One, how did you find Puckle? And two, why would you stay here? What's wrong with you? Why are you still here? What's wrong with you and why are you still here? You're the two people I can phrase it that way too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about,
You're
how about
good.
Seth goes first since I went first last time?
Okay, I'll go. We'll trade back and forth, I guess. So, I found Puckle when I was working for the Boy Scouts of America, and I was doing a lot of
remember that.
driving. Yeah, I was driving a lot for that job because I had a county that I basically managed, and so driving was naturally conducive for podcasts. And I've been a Pokemon fan my whole life. At that time, I was also just happening to get back into the TCG, and I really wanted to make a deck around Scizor EX and Mega Scizor.
I remember that card.
So
That's a fun card.
It was, and Scizor's one of my favorites. So I was just researching a lot of TCG topics, and I found out that there are podcasts about the TCG, and so I started trying to find them, look them up, and I eventually stumbled upon the I'm pretty sure it was the Sun and Moon review episode for TCG Cast. That was the first one that I think I'd heard, and then I liked it. They did a really good in-depth coverage of all the cards, and then they're like, "Oh, we have this other show on Mondays, so just keep listening." And this was before the Puckle Plus split, so it was all in the same.
Oh, that's
feed.
true. We used to be in the same feed. I forgot about how much of a mess the feed used to be.
Yeah, and so I stuck around. I stayed on listened to the Monday one, and I really loved it. And so then I was listening to that show all the time, and eventually I got onto a Game Corner episode, and the rest is history.
Hippo history.
Hippo history. It's
hippo history.
Hippo history.
Hippo history.
Hippo history.
All
what
right,
about
so
you, Basket?
mine's kind of similar. At least at how it started. I had a long commute to work.
How long was your commute? These are the questions that people want to know.
Well, okay, so it was so I feel like I was kind of bamboozled because it had said that it was a 45-minute drive when I looked it up on Google when I was searching for jobs on Google Maps. And basically I was lied to because there's this one highway that everybody has to drive to get where they're trying to go. And it turned out to be about an hour and a half drive every day to work. And an hour and a half back. So that was fun. So I definitely needed something to entertain myself. And I've always liked Pokemon more than everybody else around me. So I was like, okay, this is great. I could just be in my car and find something Pokemon related to listen to. And I went on the internet and typed in
the World Wide Web, if you will.
Yes.
The great.
And I was like, best Pokemon podcast, and there was some Reddit thread.
Oh my gosh, there's one Reddit thread that I know which Reddit thread because there's one that we're mentioned in. It's just one, by the way.
Well, for some reason that was the one that I saw.
No, that one pops up all the time. That one pops up all the time if you search for best Pokemon podcast, and we're in there, and I'm like, shit.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and so I was listening to this one, and what was the other one? It was some. There was this TCG podcast that was. I hate to describe him this way, but there's this guy who he does commentary for Worlds TCG, and he's a bigger guy, and I think he has blonde hair.
Okay.
And anyways, so he had one that was, I don't remember what it was called, but it was
not
him.
PTCG Radio, is it?
No, not that one.
No,
not the
not
British
him.
guy.
Okay.
But
That one-
I did
that one
listen
was
to
good.
that one for a little while.
That one was good. I thought he did a good job.
But yeah, the thing that attracted me to it was this guy and then these two other people who were all like they had done really well in the TCG, like in worlds and regionals and stuff like that. So they were going over like very intense discussions about like the issues, the pros and cons of like all these different decks and how people were playing them and stuff. So that was really interesting because I've always, even when there's something that I can't do or that I don't know anything about, like it's just interesting to hear people that know a lot about what they're talking about talk about it. So that was kind of like an introduction. And I was listening to the main show and the TCG cast. And then I did like, I wanted to like help out with the podcast because I liked it so much. And
I remember this.
So I asked if I could do like a comic for it that eventually
do a comic?
just kind of stopped happening. Yeah, like way in the beginning. It was like, I don't know.
I don't remember, but I believe you because we used to do a bunch of nonsense.
I mean, I'm really glad that it's kind of like faded because the artwork was really not that great. And then eventually Jashiro asked me if I wanted to be a part of the TCG cast because him and I met up.
I remember that. Well,
we live in the same
before that, we had
state.
you on the show, I thought, for Pokemon Go stuff.
I don't think Pokemon Go hit. Well, if
No,
it had come
because
out,
you
it
were in
had,
the
like,
beta. You
just
were in the
come out.
beta for Pokemon Go.
What?
Do you not remember this?
This is news to him.
I don't remember any of this.
That's fine. That's fine because I
mean,
don't
it's
remember
been
a lot
years.
of things. Yes, I absolutely understand.
But yeah, So that was how I got in.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's great. Yeah, then we just let you in, man. We let anybody in, as you can tell. Hand woven
Why
things.
do you think I'm here?
Yeah. So I was asked by Pokemaster to ask you what your favorite Pokemon is and why. You can feel it however you want. You can
Go
also
ahead,
lie.
Basket. Since
Mine
I went
is,
first last time.
So I don't know. I mean, mine's kind of, I wouldn't say constantly changing, but I kind of waffle between like three of them. One that's always been like super awesome to me is the like Ghastly.
That's true.
Because I always wanted to start I always wanted to start my I always thought like, oh, if I was going to ever start my Pokemon journey, I would want to start with the Ghastly, which would kind of break the rules. Because like half the Pokemon in the first town wouldn't be able to touch me.
That's true, especially in Gen 1 when Gus was still fly or still normal type.
Yeah. But I really, really like Elekid too. I think Electabuzz and Electivire are okay, but I think I just super dig Elekid's design. I think it's really solid.
That's good. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, Elekid's the one you have on the TCG mat, right? So.
Yeah, the Elekid. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Seth. Obviously, it's in your profile picture, but I'll let you explain.
Yeah. Yep, it's Sableye. That's pretty much, since it came out, always been my favorite. I don't know. There's a whole lot of reasons for it. It was a Sapphire exclusive, and I got Sapphire because that's my birthstone, and blah, blah, blah. It's a little goblin that's crazy about gemstones, which is kind of like what I am for the most part. I have a rock collection, and I collect gemstones, so, I mean, it fits. I don't eat them, but I have them. It's primarily cool colors. The only warm color is the ruby on it, so that's more points in its favor. It's really cool for that gym that you fight it in. Oh god, starts with an M. I think that whatever it is for that fighting gym, and it's really hard to find. So if I found it, I was really proud of myself. So I mean, yeah, it's a small gem obsessed prankster. Hello. That's me.
So fun fact, we did like a quick D&D campaign in the past year, Seth and I, and that's exactly the character he played, was just a gnome. That one in
Essentially.
gems. That one
I
in gems.
apparently like to play small creatures in D&D. That's what I've discovered. Between a
Yes.
hobbit that I'm playing now, a gnome that I played in yours,
Yes.
another gnome I've played in another. Like,
Gnomes
I
are the
like
best.
small things.
Gnomes are the best. It's fine. Gnomes are the best. The follow-up is Comedian also asking what your least favorite is.
Well, I make no secret of this. Freaking Halucha.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's
Or
that's,
Mega Pincer.
You know what? Why Mega Pincer? Mega Pincer's not that
What?
bad. It's not as oppressive as
way-
Halucha is now. I think Halucha is
way that
incredibly
I-
oppressive right now.
I don't think it's oppressive. I think it's just it's under the radar enough that you natural teams don't have a lot of defense against it.
Wait, is that under the radar? Like, are we talking OU,
Yeah.
by the way? Because
Yeah.
like I would say if it's under the radar, people just aren't even looking at sample teams because it's literally in like 3 of the sample teams right now for
Yeah.
OU.
It's still pretty under the radar.
It's
yeah.
good. It's good. You just pair
I
it up
hate-
with Coco and you're good. You're done.
I hate fly spam. Not even Coco. Like it's usually Rillaboom.
We're
now.
Rillaboom, yeah.
And the things I like to use, the way I construct teams are just dismantled by Pinsir and
Good.
Halucha.
Good.
I
Good for
still
you.
pray for the day that we have a really good floating ghost rock type, just so I can laugh at that Pokemon.
A floating ghost.
I love Mega Pincer. He looks so dope.
Yeah. Also, he's
Alright, okay.
decent.
Exactly.
All right, my least favorite. It used to be Bidoof, but now
Bidoof is adorable, and he got his own national holiday. Okay.
National
Really?
holiday.
oh, that's
Oh,
silly.
July
But,
1st it was called Bidoof Day, and they had like a bunch of merch that dropped.
wow,
You should look at the
okay.
YouTube video.
That's silly.
They did a thing that was like a Rickroll, but it was about Bidoof. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it used to be Bidoof, but then I've decided that because he was so incredible. So, all right, something that I've learned from Nuzlocke is you can always find a way to really enjoy a Pokemon. Because sometimes you get one and you're like, "Ah, this thing, and then force yourself to play by the rules. You have to have it. Yeah, I never had a Bidoof in a play in a Nuzlocke playthrough, but I was playing Pokemon Go and there was just all these Bidoofs like about a year ago. Just that was the only thing that was ever coming up around me, and it
Because
was
it's
pissing
Gen
me
4.
off. And I
It
was
was
like,
Gen 4.
I was like, man, this thing sucks, and I don't want anything to do with it. But I need to catch it because I need Stardust. Blah blah blah. So I was doing that, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make the worst Bidoof ever. I'm gonna find the worst Bidoof ever, and I'm just gonna keep him a Bidoof, like lowest CP possible, lowest stats, and he's gonna be like, he's gonna be my prize Pokemon. And I'm still looking for him. So
Still looking for
Oh
that
my.
trophy.
yeah, still looking for that trophy. But I think I would say my least favorite, honestly, is like design wise, probably Weedle.
Weedle? Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
I think
sense.
Weedle's lame.
I think a lot of Gen 1
Kinda
stuff is pretty
boring.
lame. It's just boring because like there was nothing to compare it to, and 2, it's like back then they didn't really know what Pokemon was, and now they have like this really fine design figured out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Skullmane Banky is gonna follow it up, and then I believe Mighty Malamar has a quick question as well. So Banky, he wants to ask both of you. Pokemon like to add little mini games throughout the years. Which one of yours is the favorite? Examples are this, like the Surfing Pikachu minigame in Yellow, Contest, Battle Bingo. if you ever played that
Okay.
one. Safari Zone and Bug Catching Contest would count as well, he says.
Okay. Gotcha.
So go ahead, answer.
I'll take
yeah.
it. I really liked the Gen 3 format contests. That was kind of like a miniature battle in and of itself. Those
Mhm.
were my jam. I really liked playing those. And when they brought them back in Oras, I was thrilled.
They were really well done in Oraz too, with like the how they handled megas in that too. It
Yeah.
was done really well. What about you, Basket? Any mini games you really liked?
Yeah, I would say the bug catching contest was pretty fun because it was the only way for me to like get like a
Dude, that was the best.
Scyther or
That was the best.
That was fun.
I just remember doing.
But,
I remember the dailies. I like the days. I like that it was only open on like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was kind of frustrating for me, but at the same time, I was like, "That's."
I
Cool.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It made it feel like a real world, you know.
Yeah. But other than that, probably Mantine surfing.
Oh,
I think that counts.
That's a good answer. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
That's a good answer.
The only way to travel.
The only way to travel. Okay, so Mighty Malma, I'm inviting you up. You can accept if you would like. If not, you can DM me.
Okay, so my question is about favorite mythical or legendary Pokemon based off of lore or design.
Lore or design. Okay.
Okay.
I'm glancing at my favorites chart. I've got one of those things, you know, that type chart that you can do, like what's your favorite of each type?
Yeah,
I've got one, but I made it with Pokemon cards, so I'm glancing at that real
with
quick.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
I need a picture of this at some point when you get a chance.
Yeah. Let me get up and look at it to get his answer, and then I'll send it to you. I'm gonna post it in voice share so people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I want to know. I want to know what that is. I want to know. Oh, I am very excited to see what this is. I'd like to see. What about you, Basket? Do you have an answer to that one? While we wait for Seth.
I guess I would say, like, design-wise, my favorite would probably be, oh man, I mean, it's a really hard question. Zapdos, maybe.
Zapdos. I mean, Zapdos is just
yeah.
good in general.
Yeah, I think Zapdos is really cool design-wise.
Mhm.
Lore-wise, I always really liked the Yveltal Xerneas thing.
Oh, is that lore? Why? How? Why? What about that? What about that is interesting? I don't know. Like, I guess they have lore, but they never used it.
Xerneas was all about like life and growth, and Yveltal was all about death and destruction. If I'm getting that right.
Good one.
That's a good one.
And I thought that was a cool dichotomy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Seth, you've returned.
Yeah, and I've posted the thing in voice share so you can look at what I've created. But I would say I'm not going to count Sylvally because it's even not really a legendary. It technically is, but let's be real here, it's not. And so single Pokemon wise, I'm going to go with Zygarde because that's just cool. I like the omnipresent guardian of order on the planet. And like it can alter the forms based on the situation needed. I've got this really I have in my head created this animation scene in my brain that I wish someday I could bring to like a video. I know I never will, but it's to the tune of one song, and it's just like Zygarde in a bunch of forms going through a whole bunch of problems, and like he encounters Yveltal's sucking life out of everything and he vanquishes it or whatever. It's such a cool thing, to the point that like I well up with tears of frustration that I can never manifest this brain video that I've got with Zygarde being awesome in it, but whatever. It's to the song Razor Sharp, so yeah, that's fun. But yeah, the omnipresent guardian and kind of cold calculating snake that sits in its cave to make sure everything is in order is awesome. As far as like, and it fits kind of in with your thing, Basket, like with the Yveltal Xerneas and then Zygarde as the order between the two of them. Like, that's a really good unexplored lore, mythological, whatever you want to go into.
It definitely is.
The other cool one as like a grouping, I can't decide between the Weather Trio or the Creation Quartet. The as far as like overall lore, so yeah, I'm mixed on those. But a single Pokemon, hands down, Zygarde.
Yeah. Okay, so we have time for one more. I've got one from Pokemaster, but he's already asked two. So I if anybody else has one, we will go ahead and just do that. If not, I will. Okay, so Pokemaster asks, Other than being in a Pokemon podcast, why do you play Pokemon? / what is the part you look forward to each gen, the most each gen? I'll let either of you take that.
I would say, well, the reason I still play Pokemon is because, I don't know, man. I mean,
You like
it's
playing
like,
Pokemon.
yeah, it's like a nostalgia rush, and I like seeing how they change it and everything. I would say the most exciting part for me, honestly, is I mean, it's why we're all here. It's like all the new Pokemon, right? I mean, I could be wrong, but like I just love seeing the new designs, and some of them I look at immediately and I'm like, what? This is stupid. And then they like grow on me in a way, and I'm like, this is actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about you, Seth?
For me, I would say that the fact that I'm on the podcast is really a side effect of me liking Pokemon so much. It's not.
I would hope so.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, to be clear, like making sure, like I don't do the Pokemon stuff because I'm on the podcast. I do the podcast because I like the Pokemon stuff.
Yep.
And I don't know, kind of like Basket. The thing I look forward to every time is the new stuff, whether that's the Pokemon themselves or new mechanic changes. I go crazy, like podcast aside. There's a reason I'm a host of Battlecast, is because I really get into like what the effects of things are on the Smogon metagame. I haven't opened Shield in months. Like that's honest. I have not opened Shield in months because everything I do is on Showdown. Like I don't, especially now that we can't.
I think that's like the
battle
sad
apart.
thing right now about
Yeah.
like the state of Pokemon competitive, at least, because it very much feels like you're in this stranglehold to play the way they want you to play.
Yep.
Which feels
Yeah.
very antithetical to what they want you to do as a Pokemon player.
Exactly. So that's what I like, is figuring out the new mechanics and how they apply to the metagames that I know. And also TCG, like I've really gotten into. I sold this to Thatch during, I don't know if it was the main show last week, we'll say, or one of the off-air parts, but I am hell bent on at least attempting to be a competitor in the TCG at Worlds in 2022. Like I want to try and get close to the point cap or whatever and go there and do that. So that's going to be a very big commitment, but at least I have a good deck in Shadow Rider, as opposed to me doing meme B tier decks all the time. So
That's true. All right.
That's
so
awesome, Seth.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I'm gonna follow Seth around the world.
be my team Yell, Thatch.
I'm gonna be his team Yell. I'm gonna literally prevent his opponents from being able to sit down in their seat.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna blow Boo as well in their face. And that's my plan. That's my grand plan, is to just follow Seth around and make sure that he wins at all costs. At all costs. Seth must win.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to both Basket and Seth here. It is now time for the changing the guard. I know that 2 of the 3 that signed up are going to be here. I assume the third one might be oversleeping. All right. So let's go ahead and swap you guys in. I'll bring in the two that I love. And
See you guys. This was fun.
It was.
It was
All
a
right,
good
I'll
time.
exit quietly now.
Exit quietly.
Yeah.
And we'll promote these guys a speaker. Invite to speak.
I just moved myself to speak.
Yeah, don't touch me.
Yeah.
I touched you anyway. So
I don't. You could have worded that better.
nope. So welcome to the next 2 on the list. Jashiro was signed up for this slot, but he might be still Sleepy Boy. And we've got Dr. Shamu, as everybody knows, the whale himself. And somebody who's never been on the show before, but has been very ever present in the community, Orange Avenger, also known as the Mean Tech Guy. And they're both here. I've got questions for them, if not everybody else. If you're in the audience, you can do so. A reminder to those of you watching us on Twitch, because there's a lot of you watching us on Twitch, but not in the Discord. Two things. One, we are doing a giveaway for BDSP as the last copy for the five copies of BDSP giveaway for 500 episodes. If you want to be part of that giveaway when it happens, you need to be in the Discord stage. Also, it would help if you would ask questions as well, if you have them. If you're on Twitch, you will not be able to enter it because I'm literally just going to take the names of the people that are in the audience on Discord stages and use that as the randomizer. Second of all, I think that was the only thing, actually. Second of all, yeah, just come on over to Discord. Otherwise, all right. So if there are no questions, I will ask a question before. Okay, so Median's going to ask a question first, and then I already know what it is, and you guys can all answer Median's question. And then we have Bo.
I feel like you're overwhelming me.
I know you.
I just want to ask a question. It might be a little weird. How do you make the perfect grilled cheese?
Get out of here.
You want to take those first, Shamu, or what's up? Okay, I got this.
Sure, go for it. I'm like,
you should talk about how to make a piata, Shamu. That's your.
oh, I can do that after.
Yeah, I'll figure that out. I'll explain grilled cheese first, though. Okay, so grilled cheese. I don't want to hear about the whining about butter, because I'm in a hurry. So we do a little garlic butter, melt it a bit, brush it on the bread. It's a proper absorption. That's E. Cheddar, throw it on the thing, fry it up, you're done. You know what?
I feel like
me
cheddar's
5
a
minutes.
boring cheese. Cheddar's a boring cheese.
No, not with the garlic butter. Good balance, especially if you're going to have a nice bowl of tomato soup or say, I don't know, something with spaghetti.
I'm thinking
and you wanna go a
standalone
little-
grilled cheese. You know, like I went some like Swiss maybe. You got to mix the cheeses.
I'm not a fan of the Swiss on the grilled cheese. I'm not a fan of Swiss.
Really? Okay. Well,
I don't know.
You today.
Just
Yeah.
Move on.
All right, Shamu. Piata. For those of you who aren't aware, piata is Italian street food. Very traditional Italian street food. As Whimsicott will tell you, I'm lying through my teeth. It's fine.
The day before, you make some Alfredo. You know, just make some Alfredo. You have your dinner, whatever. You have too much. You have some leftovers. Day 2. Reheat the leftovers and slap it in a tortilla. Call it a day.
Oh man. And that's how you make a piata with Dr. Shamu.
This is like Cursed Bachelor Food 101.
Yeah.
Kind of actually.
That's all my tortilla creation. They're just cursed foods, you know?
Kind of actually. This next one, we've got Boerky. He wants to come up to the stage. Let's invite him up.
Hi. As someone who joined the Discord way later than it seems most have around here, I would like to know what the oral history is of how Dr. Shamu became a meme.
That's a great question, actually. Shamu, I'm making you answer that.
So, I know this one, actually. Let me find... So there was an image. I posted a couple times, not recently.
Yeah.
But there was an image of us, I think, during one of the PUCL at Steak and Shake.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at the photo and we're like, I just naturally had I had that face naturally, and it just tap. I'm like, you wanna know, that would be a good, that's a good reaction, that's a good emote. Like, and then we just made it an emote, and it stuck, and it was just like, it's all it was, yeah.
Yeah, yep. That's pretty much what it was. And then we just started slapping the picture on everything, and everybody was
it was just like, it was just a kappa, essentially. It was just a kappa for us. Like,
yeah. My favorite.
I think
he did really good with that picture, by the way, of us at that Steak and Shake from one of those PUCLcons, because what he did is he put his face on everybody, and there's a window behind us, and he does all of the reflections.
Yeah. let me find it. I will put it.
He does
in
all of the
voice share.
reflections.
Here it is.
Actually,
I already found it.
It's done really well.
Yeah, that was the most
this was
important
the
step
original
in
image.
evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the original image of just doing this, and then it just kind of evolved.
It's done really, really well.
Loading now. Yeah. Good old voice share.
And that is the question. That is the story of how Shamu became a meme.
Yeah.
that is your answer. I don't know how else to explain. Other than, have you met Shamu? Like,
I'm very different on the podcast and then
that's true.
Discord, too.
I guess that's a good point. Is like we do definitely have different. Like there's definitely like a show mode you go into.
Yeah.
Then like, then if you were to just like talk to us, there's definitely a difference.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. We are people.
Definitely a difference. So I'll follow up with a question I've asked everybody else. Is how did you find PUCL, and then why are you dumb enough to still be here? And either of you can answer. I want both of you to answer inevitably.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
go for it.
No, go ahead.
Okay, sure.
We
I
insist.
think I literally just searched like Pokemon on iTunes when I had like an iPod Touch in like high school.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Like either late middle school
Well, you've been
or
around
early
for a
high
while.
school.
You've been around for a while.
Yeah, no, I was I think one of the few staff members, at least later on, that got in before I was 18. Because I think that was the rule you guys did too, because like for staff stuff.
Yeah, we have like, so at the time, because I was younger than I am now, because right now, like if you're not 18, I'm probably not going to bring you on to be on the show or to like really have you help with the show. Not because of like, I don't think you're capable. It's just one, you're a teenager. You're probably going to flake at some point, not because like of negligence or anything, because you're living your life. But then also there's like legal repercussions I have to worry about sometimes. But like, I'm not going to hire you on as staff or bring you on as staff if you're under 18. But back then I was like, I started the show when I was 16. So like 16 and up can
Yeah, even then I don't think I was on the show until at least a year later after that. Because like, again, I came on as a tournament organizer. Like I came on to help with the tournaments like UTC and Summer League and all that. Mm-hmm. Get that organized, set up. Still have old images of the brackets lying around that are just like Microsoft Paint things. Like
Microsoft Paint brackets back in the day.
Yeah,
almost as good
cleaner than the old ones that were actually like drawn with paint.
That's when I did it in Paint.
Yeah. Oh god,
it's not good.
But yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah, literally just searched up the name Pokemon and just started listening and kind of just became part of the community in the good old Zat days. And
Zat, I love that sound of the Zat chats is super nostalgic to me.
It is. I miss that. That had so many things you could have fun with.
Yeah, you could do a lot of nonsense in a Zat chat, and it still exists, by the way. It still that still exists. It's really nuts.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm just still here because this is where my friends are. You know, like this is my hangout. Like.
Okay, Orange. I know you're not on the show, and you hate me for that, which isn't true. But
oh no,
I know you don't hate me.
No, because even like right now, I'm feeling super shy. I don't know if I could do this like every time.
I make you do it every week.
Yes, I don't know if I can handle that. Too much anxiety. Anyways, so how I found this place, right?
How'd you find this place and why you're staying here? Because we haven't scared you away enough yet.
This is why I let Shamu go first. Much less interesting story. Just sampled a few Pokemon podcasts. Found this one I liked. I was thinking about this when you were asking the question before. I really don't know what led me to like really pick this as what I went with.
I don't know either. I wonder if it's just because like you joined, like you checked out the community, and I feel like we're one of the more welcoming is the wrong word, but like sociable.
Well, you didn't like try to gatekeep me with a $5 Patreon thing to get in the Discord. That probably helped.
I hate people that do that, by the way. I hate that business model.
Shots fired for anybody listening to that who does that, but sorry. Anyways, why did I stay? I don't know. Same thing as Shamu, my friends.
Yeah, okay.
I ask myself that daily. I'll let you know when I actually figure it out.
I ask myself that daily too. It's fine. It's fine. All right, let's see. Anybody else in the audience have any questions? Because if not, I've got a very pointed one that's gonna come straight for Orange.
Dagger right to your throat.
Dagger right to your throat. All right, so I only ask this because we've talked about it. We talked about it briefly in DMs after you'd signed up for the slot.
Great. Yeah.
Why Orange Avenger? Who harmed the color orange? And why do you have to avenge it?
They took my juice. They took my juice. No, I never. Okay, so long story short, I was at a bar with my younger brother.
Yes.
Had his at the time girlfriend there with him. Somebody was touching her in a way that inappropriate, and I'd had a few drinks and
touching on the back
not
is not appropriate when you're out dating. Yep.
Yeah. You know me, I'm kind of a hothead sometimes. I tend to say and do things without thinking about it, and alcohol didn't help. I punched a guy in the jaw, and after some conversation, my brother is like, man, like an orange effing Avenger.
And
there's obviously more detail to the story, but I need to be brief and try to gloss over a few choicer parts.
It's the origin story of the century. You know? The origin story of the century.
I danced on a table afterwards, like I just made a touchdown.
That sounds exactly like something you would do. Oh,
yep.
We've got a question from Mighty Malamar. We'll bring him back up. He just has to accept my request to come and ask. There we go. Go ahead.
All right, so I know this is a PUCL, or the PUCL is talking about the good things about Pokemon, but I want to know what's your guys' least favorite thing about Pokemon.
That's solid.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
A lot of mine are going to be like weird little technical nitpicks and things like that.
Well, go ahead. Well,
are you ready, Shamu, or do you just want me to go?
I don't know.
Okay. The thing I dislike about Pokemon, it sometimes shows a lack of effort in the game overall. I guess would be a nice way to put that shortly. I feel like sometimes we're expected to purchase a product.
Like polish or something?
I don't know. It was like when you were talking about the mini games earlier. I feel like some of this is becoming a little shovelware-ish. Maybe they're trying to rush it out the door a little too fast.
You know what really gets me sometimes is when you play something like Pokemon Quest, it feels more complete sometimes. And you're just like how? You're just like, how does this feel more complete than it feels like these buttons are missing, or just like the one thing that I really think would have been better in Sword and Shield is the use of Dynamax crystals, because I feel like Dynamax crystals are just very
specific ones to each Pokemon.
Well, no, they have Dynamax crystals. They exist right now. They're in the game, and what you can do is you can go to that tower in the wild area and toss them in, and it's like a Dynamax battle of a specific Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like those are incredibly underutilized. And I wish they would. And Dynamax, granted, is a mechanic that doesn't really lend itself to using that well to begin with. But I don't know. I wish they would. I wish they would think things through a little bit more. Sometimes I think that's maybe a good way to phrase it.
I think the thing I'm not really the happiest about, at least with this gen, is just the timer. Really, because again, this would have been This would have been probably one of the best games if not for that timer. Because we can't play the formats we want to play.
Mm-hmm.
We can't it's just, I don't know. That thing, I think that's the thing I hate the most right now about it, is just that timer. Because it's again, they realized, oh, you've got these people playing these formats. I don't know if it's you can't play this you can't play standard Pokemon on this anymore unless your guys are rushing, but you can't always that. People have to set something down. Life happens, you know. Sometimes you gotta run away.
Yep.
It's just
the timer thing's the most confusing to me too, because I was about to chalk it up to Nintendo's online being unstable or something, but then you're just oh man, let's go Pikachu and Eevee have a 60-minute timer.
Yeah.
And that's really frustrating. It's an artificial limit that they placed on it, definitely.
it'd be nice to know what the designers were thinking with that, because maybe they're trying to get away from doing like calcs and stuff as like the norm. But
Well-
then they should probably say something like that to that effect then,
I wouldn't
so
even
we know what their intention was.
even back in the day, it was really hard to do calcs if you were playing on cart. Like, it wasn't easy, but it was more. I don't know. It just feels like they're more just trying to push you into a certain way of playing. Or I could absolutely see it being this way. It was an absolute oversight. It was an absolute
Because you
oversight.
thought like, oh, you only need 20 minutes for VGC and BSS, and not thinking
Yeah.
about the actual 6v6. But again, like,
Yeah.
did they make the game so poorly that they can't patch that in, which is kind of
Well,
surprising. that they
I don't
can't
know.
add a
I just
rule
don't
set?
think they care. I just don't think they care. You know what I mean?
They might not, but it just really hurts. It's just like,
No, it does
you know?
definitely hurt. I miss being able to play OU on cart. Because I think it would have,
Yeah.
like you said, it would have been fun, especially as like the slow trickle of Pokemon came in, and it changed everything.
Yeah,
up.
because
like it was great. It would have been great.
yeah,
I mean,
I
they
do
tend to
miss
cater
that.
to Japan. Do we know how Japan feels about the timer?
I do not know off the top of my head. That's
Yeah.
a good. That's a solid.
I've never,
question,
I've never really heard one about it one way or the other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo, they tend to design around Japan and that audience. So
yeah.
though. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly do not know about that. But we've got a Seth. He might be asking a question. Seth, you can come on up and ask this question if you'd like to. Just gotta raise your hand. Oh, well, you could just do it yourself.
Hello,
You have
my
power.
friends. Yeah, I tried to raise my hand, but then it was like, shows all requests to join, and that doesn't help me.
It's because you're in charge. Yeah.
Exactly, that's the problem. Ugh, power. So, guys, not Pokemon related at all. This is a would you rather. Would you
Ooh.
rather have to fight a chicken to the death every time you enter a car, or fight an orangutan once a year but you get a sword? Thank you.
orangutan.
Why is that?
You know, I would say orangutan because it might be easier, but at the same time, I don't drive that much right now.
You don't
Dude,
drive.
I don't want to have to murder a chicken every day. Plus, you
Yeah.
have a sword.
Okay, but the
That's
question.
a massive advantage in this
It is.
case.
Wait. You have a sword? Is that what it was? You have a sword and you're.
Yeah,
killing
he
the
said that
orangutan?
you get a sword to fight the orangutan.
Oh, okay.
Correct. You get a sword to fight the orangutan. Both chicken and orangutan are to the death as well. I thought.
Yeah.
I think I forgot to say that for the other. But
The
yes.
chicken.
up.
I don't know. Like you're hitting a chicken with a car, right?
No,
So you have to,
but-
you have you
wait.
have to kill the chicken to get in the car.
Yeah, do I open the door and the
Oh.
chicken flies out at me
That's-
every day?
That's even better. That's like free chicken.
Dude, I don't want to deal with that. I could eat the monkey.
I don't know how comfortable I feel with eating a monkey ethically. I I feel like the chicken's a better option. Like, okay, so you're like, so it's every day with the chicken, right? But you're gonna get good at it at some point. You'll get good at it. You'll be able to just.
I don't know.
You want to know what? I'll just do both. I'll just sell them.
I'll do both. Somebody will buy the dead orangutan.
Yeah.
Right?
Somebody will buy the dead orangutan.
That's a good side job, side
Yeah,
hustle.
that's
I
true.
still
Selling dead chicken and orangutan meat.
I still think the once a year thing's less annoying than fighting a chicken daily.
Oh, it is.
I don't
It
know.
is. Like, if I actually had to choose one, I'd probably do orangutan. But like, honestly, you could make both work.
You know,
Yes.
take a holiday. It's a day off
know, like-
work.
Someone wants some chicken. Like, oh here, like open the door like 5 times and 5 chickens come out. You know?
Mhm.
I'd be like Zelda, man.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
just like start throwing them at the like. Maybe the chickens will attack each other. Who knows?
This was the best question.
okay. I'm gonna be super generic, and I'm gonna go ahead and ask more Pokemon stuff, but basic stuff. Favorite and least favorite Pokemon, and why?
Oh. Cause see, I would have had an answer for least favorite, but now I like it more because of Gigantamax.
Which one's that?
Garbodor.
Garbodor G-Max is actually really cool. Yeah.
I love Garbodor G-Max. I just used to hate it so much because it was literally trash. But I don't know what Pokemon I hate now, really.
What's
I
your
kind of
favorite?
enjoy him because he's literally trash.
What's your favorite?
I want to say top 3 being like Wooloo, Oricorio, and Shuckle, like 3 obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really maybe we lose more just because there's actually merch for it, and I can actually show my love for it more
Yeah,
via
yeah, yeah.
monetary game out value, whatever. Like I could spend $100 on plushes, which I have done.
Oh man,
I still have the flock behind me.
those are cute little plushes. That like the Oricorio
Yeah.
plushes are cute. I really like those.
Those
The
two,
ones you
yeah.
got. I like those. What about you, Orange? Favorite, least favorite?
I'm kind of basic. I like Charizard, but not for the reason you'd think I like him.
okay,
I just
I
like
need-
that he transforms.
All the time into everything.
Yes, into everything.
Well, he's a Digimon, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
Digimon.
Yeah, like-
He's just a Digimon. When can I get
Zard Y,
the
Zard X.
It's like combining
Yeah,
everything I
Max.
love.
when can I get the
Yeah.
little like the V bracelets they have?
I
Like,
think
for
Sigma
Digimon?
has one now.
They
Or
I
at
think
least
they're
he's
coming
getting
out,
one soon.
They come out in October, I think, in the U.S. I think he's buying.
Okay,
one.
he has it pre-ordered. He has
Yeah.
it pre-ordered then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
but-
didn't do that, unfortunately.
but you can. But you're waiting for the Charizard card for that. So you can digivolve your Charizard.
That, like that Bidoof one. Yeah, actually, I
Yeah.
do kind of want that. Least favorite? I don't know.
Yeah. That's Bruxish.
t- Sure.
It's just
Anything
so-
that's just, like kind of generic and overly cutesy without really bringing anything to the table battle-wise, I
Disc.
guess would
Love
be my
Disc.
answer. Yeah, Love
Love
Disc
Disc.
is a good one.
Love Disc. There's a really cool episode of the anime, but not like the actual anime. It was Pokemon Chronicles, where it was like all focused on Love Disc, and it was actually kind of cute.
I can see that.
Yeah, it was kind of cute. So it was like they end up like two Love Discs get together and they kiss, and then they fly away like a butterfly while they're kissing. It's really weird and cute. It's definitely a Valentine's Day episode that you can like show your
Oh,
loved
yeah.
ones, your significant other. You show it to your significant other, and they
I'm
really
just
like
imagining
Love Disc.
two of them just flying away, and it's kind of like through the sky, and it's kind of weird.
Yep, that's true.
Kind of weird.
It is kind of weird. It is, in fact, kind of weird. All right. Let's see. Any other questions that anybody has? Yes, no, maybe so. If you ask a question, I'll give you an extra entry into the into the giveaway.
Hey,
There
can
we
I have an
go.
extra entry into the giveaway?
You don't get
It-
to enter the giveaway.
So, Mediant, if you
can I
ask
ask a
what
question?
please.
So Median's got a question. I will let him ask. I hope it's not about grilled cheese. We will. Oh, and Boerky. So yeah. Well, these guys are
Wait, so
already
you,
on my list.
you
for
don't
sure.
want a grilled cheese question?
No, not if I can get away with it.
She's out.
Okay.
Should have asked what we would eat
Boerky
inside
then.
with it.
Boerky then. Invite to speak.
Hi, I have a question specifically for Orange Avenger. While we've already asked about what your Orange Avenger name means, how did you get the name Mean Tech Guy?
I'm where people go when they're in a hurry and they don't want to use Google and Puckle. That's there's really much more. not much more
That's
to it.
honestly
Plus-
yeah. Go ahead.
Well, plus, okay, I hated that my name was like that salmon pink color for
Yeah.
one of the tournaments we did. And so I'm like, okay, what's a good way to get away from this? And this was the outcome. But yes, the other thing's true as well, I feel like, most of the time.
For those of you who only listen to the show, Orange is and are listening to this not that while it's being recorded. Orange is he helps a lot with a lot of the technical stuff we do on the Discord server, such as dealing with the bots, dealing with other garbage that happens on the server, and so he's very helpful in that. And I like talking tech with him as well. So
Kind of a jack of all trades that he keeps around to throw at problems or whatever
Yeah.
else.
Exactly. I'm just like, oh, I don't have time to deal with this. How about you do it?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the big thing. But for those of you at home, that's what it is. Pokemaster, I read your question. I'm not going to ask it. So,
I want to know.
no, you don't. And so yeah, that's why Orange is here, because he does that kind of stuff. I know somebody's just like, who is this Orange Avenger guy?
You should come to the Discord and find out.
Oh no. Oh no.
I also
bad.
terrorize the Discord. That would be a good way to put what I do there.
Yeah. You terrorize the Discord. That's something. That's something. Yeah. It's yeah, he's just very helpful. He's one of the bigger members of the community. So anybody else have anything else before we go? We have time for one more question. If not, I'll ask them something absolutely not worth your time. Nothing? Going once? Going twice? All right. Okay. So, Dr. Shamu, I will ask you exactly if you remember what year it was when you joined PUCL. Because I don't think you said
what
that.
year it was exactly.
Do you have an idea? Because you've been around forever. Like I know at least 2010. I know for a fact 2010 because you were friends with Sarge on his Xbox.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing this.
I would probably say it was 2009 then.
2009?
2009 or even possibly like 2008 when I started listening.
Man. That's like super
I don't know
too.
I joined during essentially the second era being when you had a clusterfuck of co-hosts.
Yes.
So like I was thinking I was here.
So that's
for the
2009.
very first
That's
one with
2009 then.
Like with Sycamore. Yeah, it's around 2009. Maybe I might have been listening a little earlier, but I don't remember for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been around 2009. Would have been probably the right time.
Yep.
Listening then, and just I still remember that whole goddamn what was the puck with PUCL 100.
PUCL 100. Yes, that was
the
last time we tried to do something like this.
Yeah. What was it? Lava Kid was me and we both tried to stay up. We both fell asleep like an hour before it started. It was just like
to be fair, that was like the lamest thing that ever. That was live streaming before live streaming was a thing, and because I remember PUCL 100 I was just like, I'm gonna do a 12-hour stream, and it was a 12-hour stream. It's just that most of it was me cleaning my now wife's house, because we were like I was essentially living in her house, and we were gonna have a party or something, so I was cleaning the house up. And that's most of the stream. And then I remember very vividly, I had locked myself out of the house during that stream.
Yeah, I think that was the thing I totally missed. Like
I 100% locked myself out.
We both slept through that whole thing.
Because I turned Animal Planet on the TV and I pointed the camera at it. And then, it's really bad because it didn't catch me on camera doing it. But I ended up climbing in through a window to the house because I had locked myself out. It was a crazy time. That was nuts. We probably should not have done it that way.
What it was like, that was early.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2000.
That was early PUCL. That was early PUCL. We didn't know what we were doing.
It was almost a decade ago. It's okay.
It's also a lie to say that we know what we're doing now. So it's a nutso's time.
True.
Yeah,
we know what we're doing.
Yeah. All right, so I guess I'm gonna swap you out, guys. I think we've got. I'm sorry that you guys have to leave. I will see you later because that's how we perpetually live in PUCL. So we will go ahead and bring up the next set of co-hosts who decided to be on. I believe it's P McGee, Snag, and or P McGee, Snag, and British Gent, if I'm not mistaken. Come on up, boys, and I'm going to touch you if I don't have to kick you out.
Have fun, guys.
I see British Gents here, and then there's P. McGee. I don't see Snag, though.
Hello. No, I don't see him.
All right. Well, welcome to P. McGee and the British Gent. The British Gent. I'm going to poke you.
Hello.
There we go. Hey, we did it.
I'm here. I managed to turn my microphone on. I was on mute, and I'm like, how do I turn this off?
So everybody knows who P. McGee is, but not a lot of people probably. Well, I know who you are, British Gent, but not everybody else does. He's one of the server moderators / server, I don't know, caretakers. And he does a bunch of.
He's been around longer than me.
He has been around longer than you. That is absolutely true. I can tell you that for a fact. British Gent's been around for a really long time, actually.
Yeah.
Let's kick that
Yeah,
off. Let's kick it off with my standard question. When did you how did you find Puckle, and why are you still here? Why are you dumb enough to still be here? And we'll start with British Joe.
Yeah, basically it was just as Pokemon X and Y was being announced, and
That sounds right.
I basically kind of, I was always into it. I always played the games, but I never like a follower, or any, like properly going online and figuring everything out. I just played the game at my own pace, and then X and Y came out. I thought, oh, I want to find a bit more, and with the work I had at the time, I found podcasts, and basically Puckle came up, and I've literally been listening since then. I was much of a lurker, I think, much more back in the day when I first joined up, when it was all on the website.
I believe that. Well, to be fair, the old website chat box sucked. Like, it was awful.
Oh yeah. Oh
Discord's
yeah.
Discord was a massive improvement.
Oh, to be quite honest though, Discord just shot everything up, like regarding communities, like everywhere. But yeah, you guys just got me into the battling with the competitions you had throughout the year, and then you got me into OU. I started battling more, and that's how I got into it. And to be quite honest, since Sword and Shield, I have not really battled anything on Sword and Shield whatsoever. And I think that is mainly down because everything's gone to VGC, and I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea, to be quite frank. I'd much prefer OU. I love draft, and that's like, I think that is my main thing now. If we ever get the time to come back, then maybe, fingers crossed, we come back and we get it back on cart. But yeah, since
I would love that.
Oh, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? But no, after that, really, I've kind of taken a step back. Life in general has got a little bit more busier. I've been becoming a dad since I've been with Puckle, and I am actually going to be a dad again. Come the end of October.
Congratulations! Yay! I think you told us this. Didn't you tell us this? You already told us.
I did say it in the staff chat. Yeah, I've not said it much,
I feel like I've known
but
this.
I've kept my mouth shut because I know when I get excited, I'll not shut up and I'll start annoying everybody by going, "Oh, guess this? I've got the photos." And I know that people don't want to see all that. I know people don't want to see the scans of babies and stuff. But honestly, inside, I am buzzing over it all. And that's another thing where I've just taken a step back, to be quite honest. And if anyone actually follows Instagram, because I don't think there's that many, it is me who actually runs it.
That is true.
I have been asked if it's Thatch, and I've been blamed it's Thatch, and it's been quite entertaining when I have conversations with people thinking it's Thatch.
You? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
There's been one or two.
I give you full permission.
I
give you full permission to pretend to be me. I give you full permission.
But yeah, that's generally my time in Puckle and being in it, and why I'm still here, because it's generally just fun.
For full transparency, I am 100% my only interaction with the Instagram is that I am logged into it on my phone, and that is it. That is it. It is 100% just British Gen. I think I posted a picture once.
Yes, you did. Yeah, I think there's one. I think
I've done it maybe once. I know I did it once, maybe twice. I don't know. But okay, so P. McGee, we'll bounce the question to you then.
Yeah. To give some context, he said he came around for X and Y. I showed up right after Sword and Shield got announced, so I came in like 5 or 6 years later.
That's a little longer.
Yeah. And so my job requires a lot of driving, so I got into podcasts listening back in 2019, and then Sword and Shield got announced in like February on Pokemon Day, I think. And so I was like, I wonder who's talking about this. And so I did a very basic queue for a Pokemon podcast. You guys were first or second. I can't remember which. I listened to both of them and picked this one because it sounded a lot better.
Winner,
And you guys had better
winner.
takes.
Winner, chicken
So I
dinner.
got involved in like 2019, just as a listener, as a frequent emailer too. I used to send in a lot of long-winded emails about my hopes for Sword and Shield, all of which got dashed in short order. And then
Did you
I
get
I'm
got
a realist.
very-
I'm just a realist, guys. Okay.
yes, I was an optimist, and the optimism did not pan out well. But I stuck around. Trivia was my big thing. I was very active in there for a long time. And then I told Thatch, I was like, maybe someone could throw a bunch of trivia, organize it onto a doc, and send it to you, and that way you don't have to go scrolling through it live on
That's
the
true.
podcast. Because that's how that's what it seemed like you were doing sometimes, was just
Okay,
scrolling
so
through it and trying to find
you're
something.
definitely right. You're definitely right. And it's everything. So this is the part where I was going. We can go back to where like we definitely know what we're doing. The answer is that we don't, because I'll do that because the problem is like I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm just going through and I'm just doing it every week. And if I were to like actually sit down and prep for a show and do everything that like everybody that's involved does, because I'm a little upset that Liger couldn't be here because like he's the one that's doing that now. But like,
Yes.
there's just like so many people behind the scenes, and that's why you hear a lot of voices if you're listening at home that you don't recognize from the show typically, is because there's so many people behind the scenes that make this happen, and you're only getting like a taste of them because not all of them want to be on the show, which is why they're not there.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
that's
the
how
fact
people
that
start.
the Puckle community at large doesn't get to see all that Ozzy does. Like Ozzy just keeps a lot of things together.
man.
You don't ever hear about him because he's not on the show, but he's
Yeah.
always doing something in the background.
Yeah.
And
he
it's much
just-
appreciated.
Speaking of a kid, he just had a kid too.
Yes, he
So
did.
good for him.
He did.
Good for him. And he, and then there's like Echo, who does a lot of the edits, praise Echo.
Yep.
And then, I mean, there's just so many people that help out around the community and around just the podcast and make the content possible. So,
Yeah, and that's what I did for a while. I hid doing trivia. I think I did news. I still do news for a while. I helped put that all into information. And then I did editing, and I did this whole thing a while ago where I put a bunch of information channels in the Discord.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I just hid in the background. And then
Yeah, you give me 2
eventually-
days of what the heck's going off. It took me 2 days. I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
But that's what I did, and then Seth dragged me onto Battlecast in early or late 2019, and then I got involved in the main show in like 2020 as like a co-host.
That's the reason we keep Puckle
So-
Plus around, is so we can voice test people. Discord has made it a lot easier though, because we've been utilizing voice a lot more, so it's nice to be able to do that. But yeah, okay, so we've got some questions. We've built up some questions during your little introductions. The first is going to be, this one's only for you, British Gent. This is from Pokemaster, who says, from a Scot, what is your favorite place in the UK?
I've got to be honest. I absolutely love Derbyshire, which is the centre of England. I've always been in the countryside. I've grown up there, and I'll be honest, I could not live in a city or a town or anything like that. Much more the countryside, definitely. Yeah, it's. I have been up to Scotland. I have been to Scotland for a holiday, and that was great. That is really in the wilderness. But yeah, I think favourite place, yeah, definitely in the middle of Derbyshire in the countryside.
One day I plan to make a trip to England just so I can go see you and Ozzy and buy you both a burger and a beer. that is the only, like, that is it's like on my list of things to do. Because everybody else can like show up for like a PuckleCon or whatever, a PuckleCon equivalent, and you guys, like, you're across the pond. Like it's a commitment to come out here. So one day I'm gonna go out
slightly,
there.
yeah,
it's a commitment. One day I'm gonna go out to you guys, and we're gonna get together, have some food and drink, have a good time.
Oh, for sure.
All right, so this next one's gonna be from Submediant.
Hey y'all, I just wanted to know, what is the perfect way to make a grilled cheese sandwich?
He's just gonna do this all day.
Shocking. I never guessed he was going to ask this question.
Right.
I'll give my basic answer because I make grilled cheese every couple of weeks. I get myself some pepper jack cheese so it has a bit of a kick to it. Butter both sides of the bread, throw it on the pan, make it look nice, and then cut it into a triangle and eat it because I don't want to spend an hour cooking grilled cheese. If it takes more than 10 minutes, I'm doing it wrong.
He's like very upset about the butter. He's in Twitch chat. He's just like, every time you guys say butter, he's just like that's wrong. And I don't disagree with the butter, but yeah, keep going. Yeah.
I've obviously missed all this conversation because I've only just come back in. Obviously, here in the UK, we don't really call them grilled cheese.
What do you call them? Explain.
Well, if anything, the closest thing that we have is we just literally cheese on toast. You toast the bread one side, slap some cheese on the other side, probably put a bit of brown sauce on, a little spot on here there.
Wait, brown sauce.
And then
what is
put
brown
it back
sauce?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm uncultured.
I've got to be honest. I don't know how to describe brown sauce. It's just literally like a unique flavour. Like, how best to describe it? Brown sauce is normally had with like a fry-up breakfast here in England. That is literally the only time you'll ever see a brown sauce.
Okay.
That's the best way to have it, or the only way that I know really to have it. But bit of that on cheese on toast, grilled. But yeah, that's as closest as I'll probably get to your version.
Boom. All right. Okay, so we got another one. It looks like from none other than Ryan. Let's see if he actually comes up. You're in the car? Aren't you going to Chicago right now, Ryan? What's your question, Ryan?
So my question, sort of preface, about a year ago, the Pokemon Company came out with a $500 Mareep, like plushie.
Oh, the life-size one.
My question is, like, what's your most prized Pokemon, like, item or merchandise that you own? It doesn't have to be expensive, but I like to know, like, it's priceless to you.
Oh.
Okay.
I should own some Pokemon collectible stuff.
Do you not own Pokemon collectibles? Well, to be fair, I do owe you and Claude stuff.
Oh, that's true. When you send me the thing we're talking about, it will be my most prized possession.
Do you get the plus or the minum?
I get the minum.
I do
so
owe
that
you
will
stuff
be
too,
my
British Chat.
That will be my most prized possession for Pokemon stuff.
I do. It got sent back to me the first time, and I hate going to the post
did
office.
it? Oh God! Oh yes.
I told you.
Remember you saying no.
What I'm gonna do is we'll talk after this. I'm gonna set up like an Etsy listing just for you for like $0.01, and have you pay it, and then that way I can print the shipping label off with Etsy, so everything's fine.
Right. Okay. Regarding Pokemon merchandise that I've got two things. One of them it was a Christmas present from my now wife, and it's a Charizard in a glass ball, and then it has a little stand which has LED lights that just shine up into it, and then it just lights up Charizard. But it's like 3D. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a speckle. It's like speckled inside. And it's all 3D, and it's absolutely brilliant. If I can try and find it out and get a photo of it, I'll share it. Apart from that, my favourite stuff I've got. Some of you might have a clue, but my manga collection. I've now got like the first two sets of I've got the first volume, and I'm just halfway through Gold and Silver at the minute. So.
Ooh.
That's the stuff I really do love at the minute. I've been really enjoying reading it, especially when I get my little girl to come down and we sit and have a little read of a few pages.
All right. Oh, Snag's here. He got here late. You're late.
I did get here late. Sorry, guys.
Snag's here now. I guess answer the question.
I got my times mixed up.
You can answer the question then.
If I recall correctly, the question was, what is your most prized Pokemon possession thing?
Yes.
I'm like flipping through my head of like a bunch of things, like because I have the coasters that you and Mrs. T gave me.
I didn't do it. It was all my wife.
I mean, I think you were the one who handed them to me, so I mean, you were a part of the process. A while ago, my wife bought me a set of the McDonald's. No, sorry, the Burger King, the old from like 2000, well, like 1999, the gold card things. I was able to get a full set of those, and so those are like really, really neat. I like those a lot. But I guess maybe like one of the more sentimental ones is I had a student who was a TA for me for a while, and he was in my class for a couple of years as well. And he did woodworking, and so he woodworked a Bulbasaur on a piece of wood that can be like hung up and stuff. And I just saw that again today because working on like packing and moving and stuff. I was like, yeah, this is a really cool thing. I should check up on that student again. So.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my most favorite sentimental things. But man, I got a whole bunch of things.
I know
on this topic.
I know you do.
So like I said, we're moving, and the office that we have has like a whole bunch of built-in shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife is like, "Hey, this can be your Pokemon office, at least for the time being." So when we move
it's
gonna be wall-to-wall Pokemon things on the shelves. I'm super excited.
I know exactly that feeling in my office. It's gotten to the point where I don't have enough shelves. And
maybe I'll drop it in the chat thing, a picture of my office to be, but yeah, it has a lot of shelving.
Oh man! So anybody else out there, if you do if you do ask a question, you get double entries into the BDSP thing. Somebodi's going to ask a question. It doesn't stack. It doesn't stack, by the way. I will let everybody know it does not stack. But
I'm not looking for the stack. I'm looking for the answers, Thatch.
That is what you're here for,
Snag, this is only for you. Snag, this is only for you. How do you make the perfect grilled cheese sandwich?
Perfect grilled cheese sandwich. Oh man. We got to butter the bread, of course. And maybe this is bad, but like I'm a fan of the American cheese in there. There was a time where I had made like a grilled cheese that like threw bacon in there and whatnot, but yeah, like like I said, butter both sides of the bread. We actually usually do ham in ours, and the special part, especially if you're a parent, what you got to do is you got to cut it into special shapes, not just like diagonally or crosswise. You got to do like stars or like abstract art and stuff like that. So.
Oh man. Okay, so we have more. Uno momento. I'm getting there. There's a lot of questions now. Let me go ahead and we're gonna tab Mighty Malamar once again to come up.
All right. So my question is: if you could change one Pokemon, if you could change one shiny, which Pokemon would it be?
Oh, that's easy. Dragonite's hot garbage. Dragonite needs a fix.
You're absolutely correct.
I would like to throw out my shiny Dragonite and feel proud about it, but like I just cringe. So Dragonite.
I can't fully disagree with you on that one, but
there's no way to disagree with that. There's no way to disagree with that.
We've had him for so long, and he's looked worse and worse in every generation as it looks nicer in Pokemon.
The switch to 3D ruined a lot of shinies. Like I think the best example of how the switch to 3D ruined a lot of shinies is Lantern, because Lantern shiny in sprite form was gorgeous, and then when it went to 3D, it became this really pale purple that is barely different than the normal one. The switch to 3D is not nice to it. But I would change that back to the original purple. Done. That would be my change. Any Snag, British gent?
I have a couple that come to mind. I mean, the classic one to always dunk on is Garchomp.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Because
give him colors,
especially for another. Exactly. For another pseudo legendary, it's like make it like really cool. Like maybe work some like black into it or something like that. Like I'm sure you could make it much better than it is just like the slight color change. For me personally, Alakazam is not a huge change, and also it's just kind of like a purpley color. And I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of that necessarily.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I want to say, because Snag followed this up with Garchomp, is that we got trolled so hard in Gen 5 for Black 2 and White 2, where you could do like that quest to get the shiny Pokemon at the end, and your options were Dragonite or Garchomp, so you lost either way.
What about you, British
Yeah.
Jack?
Yeah. Well, I was saying Garchomp, but for some reason my microphone wasn't working, so Snag took that one.
Perfect.
To be quite honest, I just don't like Garchomp. That's the only one that comes to mind because it just doesn't look any different at all. I'll be quite honest, you know what? I'm going to say Slowpoke. Because Slowpoke has is literally exactly the same. It's the same issue. You can hardly tell if it's a shiny or not. And the reason I bring it up because I actually went looking for one in Sun and Moon, and I had to do a double take, and because of the screen keeps changing camera views and everything, it took me 5 minutes to try and realise it was a shiny.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I just much prefer. They say if it's going to be a shiny for a reason, you need to make it good.
Yep.
And you need to make it noticeable.
Yep.
Right. If you can't notice it, then what's the point?
All right. We've got another one. It's going to be from Wheatq here in a minute. It's going to be from Wheatq. So let's go ahead and invite him up to the stage if he would like to do it. If not, he can just DM me. Hello, Wheatq. Oh, muted.
Can you guys hear me?
Goodbye.
We can
There we
hear you.
go.
There we go.
Okay. This one is for Gent. Will England bring it home this year or no?
Right. Okay. For those that don't realise, England is actually playing right now as we're talking, they're 22 minutes. They're 22 minutes into the game. Yeah. Right. I don't follow football as much as a proper football fan. I follow it for England. Heck, it's where I'm from. I'm going to follow it. If they're going to do it, I believe this time round is going to be their best chance. We just kicked Germany out for the first time since 1966. It's the first time we've beaten them. So France is gone. Like all the top teams have gone. If it's going to happen, fingers crossed it's going to be this time. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that they're going to win it.
Who are they playing right now?
But we'll wait and see. Right now, I'm surprised my wife's not started shouting, or my little daughter shouting goal or something, just to try and wind me up. Because they have threatened to do that while I'm here, while I'm upstairs. So if you hear, if by any chance you hear a shouting in the background and I disappear, yeah, they might have scored.
All right, so this next one's going to come from Brian's fiance, Tina. You're going to Chicago too.
I am. I have 2 questions, if that's okay.
That's fine. I'll let it slide. Please ask them if they'll ask about their significant others.
Oh no, that was not what I was going to say. We weren't going to bring that up. I was told not to do that. The first question is, if you could battle one Pokemon trainer from the entirety of the Pokemon series, who would it be and why? And then the second question is, after you've made the perfect grilled cheese sandwich, what is the perfect side to go with said perfect grilled cheese sandwich?
Those are 2 very good questions. So first one Pokemon trainer, who do you battle? Why? You can go. Fight for it. McGee, answer it now.
Okay. Oh gosh. If I was going to battle someone, I want to battle someone who we all know, and so I think I would want to battle youngster Joey and face that top percentage Rattata.
I think it becomes a Rattata eventually.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to
No.
face that. I always want to face the Rattata.
I think I was
Everstone.
watching a Hoops and Hip Hop's video recently. I think they checked it out. I think that actually has 0 IVs in every stat.
See? Top percentage.
Great. That's great. Okay, Snag.
It doesn't even need it doesn't even need any peds to be good. It's just that good.
My first thought was like Lance. Like Lance, obviously isn't the champion of the first game, but he's like, the last member of the Elite Four. He used to like just screams like elite Pokemon trainer. But of course, if you just bring some ice, he's not too bad. So,
all right, and then British Gent.
I think I'd have to have a battle with somebody that you've got to show a bit of respect for, who's been about for a bit. And I think that person would have to be Ramos.
Who?
Who? All right.
Purely for the memes.
All right. Perfect side to go with that grilled cheese sandwich. To follow up with some immediate question from Tina.
There is. I don't have anything else with my grilled cheese. I just have a nice simple grilled cheese and I move on with my day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, but my kids at least they request the classic tomato soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife does that.
What about you, British Gent?
What is with a grilled cheese sandwich? What is it with you guys?
So while you did that, Tina also texted me what brown sauce was, and it looks like it's just like ketchup but with more things in it.
Do you guys not have grilled cheese or
no,
anything
they don't.
like?
No, not really. We don't call anything grilled cheese.
I mean,
you
might call it just like a cheese.
It's cheese. It's cheese on toast. It's toast. Yeah. We put cheese on it.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Basically, if you're toasting or cooking bread, it's toast, and whatever else you putting on top. We keep it simple.
Well, but it goes in between though, making it a sandwich.
Oh no, we don't do that. That's a cheese toasty.
Oh,
that's a cheese sandwich.
What would your side be with a cheese toasty?
Yeah, what would your side be with the cheese toasty?
I wouldn't have one. I don't know. As P. McGee says now, just
wow. Okay.
Eat it as it is. Get on with the day. Have a drink.
All right. So we have time for one more question. Pokemaster, you've asked a lot of questions, so I'm going to skip you and I'm going to go ahead to HDM. Let HDM ask a question. HDM, what is your question, my friend?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, thanks for having me here in the first place.
Anytime we do want to be.
Welcome.
Anyways, I wanted to question you guys. Like, if you could choose one element from like a spin-off game to become part of a main series Pokemon games, what would you guys choose?
Oh my.
That's a question and a half. I'm going to be honest. I'm stuck for this one because I like Pokemon as it is, and every time that they try and add something new, I'm always a little bit iffy. If you want to know what I'm saying, a bit cautious over if it's going to work or if I'm going to like it.
Well, because that's the thing. So I would have said like 5 years ago, I've been like, if they bring Pokemon Snap to the mainline games, it'll be perfect. And then they did it with Sun and Moon. I did it for 2 minutes, and then I never did it again. So
I mean, I think that was
maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't have a good sense of what would work and what wouldn't work. I wait to be impressed. I would like some more of like the mission things from like Mystery Dungeon, where you just kind of go on these like quests and missions and things like that. Because I feel like you don't really get a lot of that in mainline Pokemon. Of like, here's a thing you have to go do and go accomplish it. Go face a bunch of things.
A good side quest.
Yeah, or like some kind of like dungeon crawling aspect to Pokemon. Yeah. We kind of got that with the stuff in Crown Tundra, that one Dynamax Adventures, kind of, but that's like a real basic version of it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I mean, unpopular opinion. I actually like the catching mechanic in Let's Go. I would be fine with. I would be fine with that, or at least like overworld shinies. If I could at least have that, that would be beautiful.
I think the catching mechanic in Let's Go could work really well in the mainline game if you did the controls need to not suck. But 2, you still do traditional Pokemon battles, and then when you want to throw a Pokeball, that's when you do that. That's when you switch to that mode. And I wish they could figure out a streamlined way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, overworld shinies would be nice. I know HDM is disappointed in me, so I'll see if I can come up with a quick answer for you, but our time's about up.
It's technically up now.
It is up now.
We'll let British Gen answer, and then we'll move on to the next bunch.
No, I think to be quite honest, I think P. McGee summed it up from my point of view.
Well, thank you for you all being here. We're going to switch out to the next and last group of people. And so thank you for doing that. We'll catch you guys.
No, thank you very much.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We're still missing Linnet. He's down there. I'll invite him.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi.
Hi, Mark.
For those of you who are here, we have Whimsicott, Linian, and we have Mark, who has not been on the show yet either. Mark is another one of those people that helps us around the community very significantly.
Well, technically, I'm on almost every episode now.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that.
Mark's been on more episodes in the past month than you have, Thatch.
That's true too.
Yep.
That's true. Because Mark does the intro to the Poke Quiz for those of you at home. So we can open up questions again. Remember, I'll give you double entries into the BDSP raffle if you do so. It does not stack. Once again, I will claim it does not stack. So I'm going to open up with my question while everybody else does it. When did you find Puckle? And then why are you stupid enough to still be here? We'll start with Whimsicott because she's got a good story.
Yeah, I'll go first because I was here first out of the three of us, I think.
That's true.
You're the first here, pretty much everyone.
Not
No,
Shamu.
still here.
Not Shamu.
I said pretty much, not everyone.
Not Shamu.
So, it was the 12th of September of the year 2014. And Whimsicott was working 2 jobs. One of them was pretty much manual labor. So she wanted to do something with her ears and her brain, which were unoccupied by that job. I thought, I should find a podcast. And I thought, what could be a good topic for a podcast? I have been a bit into Pokemon lately. Let's look up best Pokemon podcast on Google, which seems to be a theme. I'm the second person.
I'm glad that
today
Google
got
didn't
there.
do us dirty.
So, what Google did was give me a Player FM list of Pokemon podcast.
It does that.
And
It's a weird list.
And right up towards the top, there was the latest episode of the PUCL podcast, which had a Suicune icon, and whose title was "Ooh, Shiny." And I had to click that. So I listened to that episode. I listened to like 4 other episodes that day. The very same night, I went home and I composed an incredibly long mailbag. It's so long that it's actually dated September the 13th because it took me until like 2 a.m. in the morning to write it. And the next episode was a Thatchless episode with Bo and Scissorcake. They actually read my email, even though it was like 7 billion words long. And I was very impressed by that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote in again, and again, and again, and again, to the point that they were like, would you maybe like to write for our website? In the hope that I would get me to stop writing.
That's not why we did it, to be fair. That's not why we did it. That's not why we did it.
I know, but it makes the story funnier. And so I became part of the writing staff. And then I was on episode 155, which was I think it was 155.
I don't know.
Which was the writing staff appreciation episode.
Yes,
And,
I remember doing that episode. I don't know what number it is.
Yeah. And then I kept writing in, and at one point they were like, do you just want to, like, join the show, Whimsicott?
That's not why we did it either, but that's okay.
I know, but it's so funny.
It's let her tell her story. Who are you to correct her?
He's right, though. I'm embellishing. So I did very eagerly accept their invitation to join the Blackthorn Council and therefore the show, because that is how it used to work.
It doesn't work that way
back
anymore.
Back in 2015.
Back when we pretended like we had
And
rules.
I stick around because these people are my friends and I love them and I love being on the show and being able to yap my mouth off about something that I love a lot.
That's fair. We'll move on to Linian then.
Hi. Well, this is funny because the year was much later, and I had just taken a job that was basically manual labor, which left my ears. And I was like, well, I was like, okay, I finished out my podcast bank because I was spending at the time I was actually installing phones in a large office. And it was like it was so rote at that point. I'm just like, I finished all of the shows that I'm listening to. I need something else. And I started looking, and I found PUCL through the iTunes search, but I found it because it was like, it had trivia. And it had Game Corner, which was somewhat newish at the time. So I was like, I'll listen to this. And I listened to a bunch of that. I listened to all of the Game Corner episodes because it was something that I could play along with that work. And then I started listening to the main show, and I hopped on the Discord like the second day that I had been listening on my lunch break, because the Discord was newish at the time. It wasn't
Sounds
brand new, but so I hopped on, and I have been trapped ever since. I started running a PTU, which is just Pokemon D&D campaign, with several people who were hosts, and I was just a person. And then I started moderating some of the Discord stuff, and then they're like, hey, you want to be on the show? And I said yes. And now I know everyone here very well, and I don't want to leave that.
Marky Mark.
Yeah.
It's your turn, bud. It's your turn. You're
Yeah.
not on the show, but well, you kind of are in spirit.
Sort of. Well, oddly enough, I think there's a theme going on here.
Were you also
about
doing
people
manual
listening? Well, so it was the start of the pandemic, and I had just gotten a brand new job, and my job was about an hour and a half drive away from where I lived, and so I ended up having a lot of time in the vehicle, both coming to and from work, and I was like, well, I can't really listen to just the radio all the time. Hey, I can listen to podcasts. That's totally a thing I can do. And so I started, I think similar to Whimsicott, I kind of Googled Pokemon podcasts because I think it was, not too long after Sword and Shield was out at that point. And I found PUCL from that along with others, but PUCL was the only one that I actually continued listening to. And actually, funny thing is, the thing that I remember the first episode I listened to, I was like, wow, there's a guy on here named Shamu. This is amazing. I need to listen to this from now on. And then for some reason, Shamu was never on. He was gone for like 2 months after I started listening. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, But Shamu was the deciding factor for me to continue to listen. And I think I've been in the Discord now for about a year because I moved into my house. And then I joined the Discord like almost immediately after that, and then now I just
Have you ever told Shamu about this? I think he'd find it hilarious.
I feel like it may have come up at one point in time. I don't remember, but yeah, Shamu was the reason I started listening to the show religiously because I wanted to hear more from Shamu. But yeah, I think at one point I mentioned that I had experience in audio editing, and Thatch was like, "Hey, you want to edit the show?" And I was like,
we
"Sure."
got him suckered in.
and now here I am. I also, for those of you who have been part of it, I do the sumo stuff every other month, which I'm surprised has just kind of taken off and become a thing. But
it's a meme
yeah.
in the community, and it's great. Well, not a meme.
Yeah.
It's like a community.
It started as a meme, but then everyone got really into it. Like,
Yeah.
Yes. That's very true. All right. So now we can open up to questions. I'm gonna open up. I've got a line So we're gonna open up with Pokemaster real quick. What is the structure for a playthrough team? I guess is the question. I don't know how you would answer that.
Team.
How do you
Literally,
design? How do you do it? How do you get a Pokemon for your playthrough team? That's the question.
just the ones you want to play with at that moment.
You catch. I feel like I feel like I'm suddenly in like Alola, and I'm gonna have to walk into the grass and like show you how to catch a Pokemon. It's you weaken it, you catch it, and then it turns out these games are kind of easy. So you just keep clicking buttons until everything in front of you is dead.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just like a simple playthrough and you're not like nuzlocking stuff or anything, I think the games are, as a whole, easy enough that you can just run whatever you feel like at the time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe you need to, in certain regions, make sure you have like a water type to use Surf or a fire type because there's a lot of steel types around and you're gonna be there forever if you don't have a fire type or a fire type move. But other than that, I think it's pretty free.
Yeah, I think I usually try and play with Mons either that I haven't played with before or that I are at least native to the region. Especially when a new game comes out, I think a lot of people do that though, so it's not really necessarily unique to me.
That's fair.
Go
ahead.
I've got a list of every evolution line in the game, and I have been working through it. Where the first time in any region, it's just I try to use all new Pokemon. But other than that, I quite literally go, okay, what haven't I used before, and I just use that.
Okay. Submediate, I'm going to save you for the end so we can bookend the conversation, bookend the whole episode. So we're gonna skip ahead to Boarky. He has not Boarky, British Gent, because he DM'd me because he can't put himself in the queue.
Oh.
So go ahead, British Gent.
So for starters, England are now winning, so just putting that one there for you. Hope to see you in the finals when you go.
Yeah, same. Although, I mean,
Okay.
you have to go through Denmark, and we're all rooting for Denmark because of what happened. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, fair enough. Anyway, quick one because we keep hearing about grilled cheese. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask about that. What's your favourite meals?
Oh.
Pizza.
Really?
Well, that's just a
Yeah.
stereotype at this point.
You know, I think I'm a huge fan of Indian food. So, I mean, yeah, particularly, oh gosh, now I'm blanking. But yeah, I mean, anything with good spice in it is what I usually I'll gravitate towards.
Mark and I are apparently the same person.
Yeah.
Though something I am way too fond of is moles, which is, I don't know if they have them very much in the Pacific Northwest where you are, and I'm pretty sure they don't have any in Italy. But it's basically sometimes there's chocolate in it, usually not. But it's a spicy dish of like seeds and things ground to a really delicious sauce that they cook a meat in. You eat it with tortillas and all that stuff.
Oh, I think I've seen this before. Yeah, there's a lot of good Mexican restaurants that have this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, it is the best thing you'll find.
All right, moving on. Our next one's going to be from Boarky. Sorry to trick you out there, Boarky.
Hey, so while this may not be relevant to all co-hosts, I am a huge fan of rules and the art of reading said rules. As such, how have you managed to maintain the support of your spouse or significant other while spending so much time working on this podcast?
Well, it probably helps that my boyfriend doesn't live with me. So I usually do podcast stuff on like Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning. And he works on Saturday afternoons. He's not here on Sunday mornings. So it's not that relevant at the moment. And also, if he didn't care for a hobby of mine, he probably wouldn't be my boyfriend. He's actually very supportive of my hobbies. So
That's nice.
like
That's very true.
he does laugh at me because I play a children's video game, but he does so in a good natured way. So
My wife is very good about it, and she is very supportive, and I tell her that every day, and then she's just like, meh. That's kind of the response I get. And she's pretty good
for
about
you.
it. I guess, yeah, I don't know. She's not mad at me for doing this, or I guess we'd all be out of work. Like, every time we get together, I'm just like, you all need to just go thank her. Because
Every time we do, she just goes, "Sure, you're welcome." This is weird.
Yes, that's 100% what she does.
Lenny, you want to go?
He's just as bad about his hobbies, so it's fine. We just end up working on it at the same time. That's the long and short of it. It's, oh, you're gonna be playing D&D for 6 hours? Great, I'll go cut some audio.
Nice. Yeah, I think I had to explain it to my wife because she didn't quite understand it, and still probably doesn't. But I've definitely recently had to not be as involved since I have a newborn.
There's a baby.
Yeah, so the child is here and has taken up some time. So there is some, definitely I haven't edited nearly as much since that's happened, but I'm still active in the community at least, and
As a dog parent,
keeping
I
that up.
completely understand. I'm kidding.
Yes. I too let my child out to use the bathroom in the middle of the night.
I could only do that recently. Okay, I could only do that recently. We didn't have a fence. I had to walk out with her. All right. So the next one is going to be from HDM. HDM, come on up. There you are.
Am I allowed to ask 2 questions?
Yeah, I'll let you ask 2 questions.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, first of all, Whimsicott. How are you gonna celebrate Italy's championship next week?
Now you've ruined it. Oh no.
He's got some money on this game. He's got some money on this bracket, so that's why
I know he does.
Yeah, I am literally betting money on this, so I kind of need Italy to win.
Okay, so I don't know if Brazilians are as worried about scaramantic stuff as Italians are. Now that you've said it, it won't happen. But so I am probably not going to do what I did when we won the world championship because, still a pandemic around. Probably not gonna join people in a square jumping up and down. Probably not even gonna drive around with the flag because it's just a European championship, quote unquote. And also, I hope I'm gonna be okay, but I have my second vaccine shot that morning, so I might be a bit under the weather. For sure, I'm gonna be watching the game with my dad and screaming my head off if we score. If we are even in the game, because we still have to go through Spain to get there, and Spain is strong, so who knows?
They miss a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
What's your second one, HDM?
So the second one is to Linian. Because Linian has a lot of great opinions that I almost always agree with. So what would you say is your most controversial Pokemon opinion?
Ooh, I like it.
Okay, this is gonna start fights.
Fight.
My most controversial opinion is that Ultra Sun and Moon are objectively probably, if not the best, close to ones released, and the only reason people have that opinion is because they didn't get a year break playing something worse.
Wait, are we talking about saying Sun and Moon were bad? I don't think Sun and
No, Sun and Moon, Ultra specifically.
I don't think Ultra Sun and Moon were bad. I just think that they were marketed very poorly.
I think that's part of it, but I think a lot of it was also just people going, we're basically sick of they didn't give it a fair shot, and then just said, "Oh, it's just more of the same," because there wasn't between every other like re-release or updated version. We've always had something else, and I think the lack of that is pretty much the entire reason that everyone says that those are bad games, because a lot of people still hold that and call them the worst.
I wouldn't
which
call
is
them bad
entirely
games.
wrong.
I think they're better than Sun and Moon.
I agree too, but I have heard people say that they're worse because of that they didn't add more than what they expected, which I think is false.
I mean, they're just DLC. They're just DLC.
Yeah.
They're just DLC, which
Right.
is okay.
Yeah, I think it added enough to the game that it was good. It was better, but I do agree with the idea that it wasn't worth $60.
Well, it's 40.
Well,
but yeah.
Was it 40?
Yeah, because it was a 3DS game.
3DS
Oh,
games are
that's
40.
right. That's right. It's been a long time since I purchased it, so
Well, nobody buys 3DS games anymore, so that makes sense.
yeah, we all steal them.
Yep, we all steal them. All right.
Funny story. That's why I don't have any of mine. They were stolen.
Oh, that's actually really sad.
Oh.
People are like, you can't transfer stuff from old generations. I'm like, I know, that has nothing to do with Dexit.
No, I really appreciate Slinian's presence on the show because he's one of the people that'll actually fight me, and I like that. I like that a lot.
My entire job is fighting with doctorates. It's nothing new.
I really like when he fights me on it because then it's good. I'm not right. I'm just confident. I'm not right. I'm just confident. So I appreciate his dissenting opinions sometimes. All right. So next up is this is Hoitku. Hoitku, you can come on up. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
So I have a question for Whimsicott.
Mm-hmm.
If there's, or what is the one place outside of the mainstream Italian cities like Rome or Venice that you would recommend visiting?
Ooh. Actually, it's places. Either you go to the south of Italy and visit all the like Greek temples and architecture, or that stuff. I won't say Pompeii because that is mainstream. Hopefully it's mainstream. It should be very famous. But actually I think the two prettiest areas of Italy are the mountains in South Tyrol and the lakes just above where I live in the north of Lombardy. You know that in if you have seen episode 2 of Star Wars, unfortunately, you know that villa where they get married
Oh no.
and that lake behind it,
Oh.
that amazing vista. Yeah, that's like an hour from my house, and it's an amazing place. I took Bo and his girlfriend there when they visited, and it's just so pretty. You should see it for yourself.
If I went there, the problem is if I go there, it's just going to be me constantly making jokes about sand and how I don't like it. And
Fun
it's gonna
fact,
be
there's
really
actually no sand. There's actually no sand on the shores of that lake. It's
No,
all
I believe that. I will still be making jokes about sand and how I don't like it because it's coarse and it gets everywhere. And
It's actually, like, if you do the guided tour of that villa, it's actually not about the Star Wars thing at all.
that makes
Like,
sense.
it's
I wouldn't talk about that movie
totally
either.
about something else,
Right?
because it actually has a really interesting history, that place. And then, like, at the end, they're like, and if any of you are here for the Star Wars thing, it's outside that window.
Yes.
It's over there. We just handle it. I don't.
I don't know. It's I still I wouldn't talk about that movie being there either. It's like the second worst Star Wars movie.
Yes.
Okay.
After episode 1.
Second worst.
Second worst. First worst is episode 9. Moving on. This next one is Mighty Malmar. I'm leaving no room for debate there, by the way. I'm objectively right.
Just moving on. I can.
That's fine. I respect that.
Everyone's allowed.
That's
to
you're
be
not wrong about the Star Wars movies.
I know. I'm not right. I'm just confident, guys.
So my question. So my question is, If you could take one Pokemon from the real world and have it as a live pet, what would it be, and why?
Ooh.
Every
So-
time I see people answer this, they always forget about logistics. So I'm fascinated to see what you two think.
Logistics.
No, I agree.
I don't need your stinking logistics.
I've actually thought about this question because I was asked this question on the podcast that I was interviewed on a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my answer is Leafeon because it's dog-sized and it doesn't even need you to feed it because it feeds on photosynthesis and it's chill, relaxed, doesn't want to fight, just want to lie down in the sun all day. And if I'm not mistaken, it like cleans the air around it. And I live in one of the most polluted areas in Europe.
Oh.
So that would be helpful.
So it's just like straight up
It's a plant.
A cat.
It's a giant cat plant thing that basks
cat
in the
plant.
sun and you can forget to feed. It's the ideal pet.
You know what? Actually, I had a very similar answer, Wims. I think either Leafeon or Espeon for sure. I think Espeon would be a very good like companion animal. Because it's soft. It is like in tune with you as its master.
You're vibing.
And what?
You're vibing with your Espeon.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
And
using the word that
they
you
can protect
use.
the weather. Like, I don't know. It seems like I think a lot of the evolutions would honestly be pretty good pets. So, all right, Linian.
Debating how much I want to throw this away for a goof, and I think the answer is I don't, which causes me immense distress. I think, like, realistically, I would want a small psychic type. I think Espeon's probably fine, because then you still don't lose it as a potential source of labor.
What labor is it going to do?
Telekinesis on very heavy objects that aren't necessarily gigantic. Like earlier today, I had to move a boxed patio, and each box was like 300-400 pounds. It took like 3 of us lifting it into carts to be able to move it to other things. And I was just thinking, you have your little cat thing, just lift that up with its jewel and walk around and then set it down. But it's still, it's smart enough to listen, but not smart enough to ask questions, and that's
Oh God!
I mean, you just call it a cat, so actually getting a cat to do anything is like utopistic as a concept, but it is a Pokemon, so maybe you'll be able to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I give it better than even odds I'd be able to get my Pokemon to do physical labor.
All right, we've only got time for 2 more questions, and I've got both of them. This one is directed only towards Mark, by the way. This one comes from Skullmane Banky.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yep, we've heard it on the podcast a few times when Mark is thanked for his amazing role descriptions. What is the Dunsparce gang?
I'm not going to answer that.
Perfect. Okay, moving on.
I'm going to leave that as a mystery.
Our final question is going to come to us from none other than Submediant.
Hey, howdy, y'all. So my last question is, how would you make the perfect grilled cheese? And a slight follow-up, which Pokemon do you think would make the best grilled cheese?
Whoa, hold on. First of all, it's not a grilled cheese. It's a cheese toasty.
The Pokemon's milk,
No,
or is
the
it preparing the food?
Pokemon's preparing.
Okay. That's different.
Okay, so the perfect grilled cheese is the Tomino del Boscaiolo, which translates to the lumberjack's tiny cheese. And it's a wheel of cheese that is the size of your palm and is specifically meant to be put on a barbecue grill. You put it there, you flip it a few times, you wait until it is slightly inflated, but the skin doesn't break. You take it off the grill, and you have a skin that's golden and slightly chewy, and the inside is melted cheese, and you eat that. That is the perfect grilled cheese. And the Pokemon that would make the best grilled cheese is possibly I want to say something like Mienshao, because it would be like quickly turning the cheese over on the grill without burning itself with those little thingies on its sleeves, and it would get it perfectly cooked without it bursting or being undercooked.
Wonderful. Okay, moving on to you, Linian. How do you make the cheese?
So, sure, you can go get expensive Italian imports unless you're in Italy, then do what Whimsicott said. That does sound good. If you are a person like me, the perfect grilled cheese is impossible because it takes too long, and frankly, bread is overrated. So what I do, this is not a joke, I basically make a grilled cheese case, but like as a quesadilla. So you get tortillas instead because they're just more economical. They take way less time to cook and transfer much more of the heat to the cheese. You get quesadilla, butter, throw that down. Ideally, you can throw Parmesan where like stick it into the butter. It'll melt. It'll fuse to it. It's fantastic. Get cheese. I usually just do like a cheddar blend because that's great, and some goat cheese. If I'm feeling fancy, I will add pastrami. But for a pure grilled cheese and not a melt, that's what you do. You put the next one on top. That's buttered. You got the Parmesan cheese ready. And because of the very thin bread to cheese ratio, it melts very quickly. Flip, you're done in like 10 minutes.
Wonderful.
What Pokemon would make the best grilled cheese? I feel like it would have to be what's the evolution of Swirlix?
Slurpuff.
Slurpuff, because it has all of those insane sense abilities, like its smell. And then if it can't quite get it out, like it can't flip and it falls into the fire, then you've just got, crisp meringue. So there are plus sides even if it goes wrong.
All right. Next up is you, Mark. You finish this off.
All right. First of all, like I was saying, it's called a grilled cheese. It's not called a grilled cheese where I'm from. It's called a cheese toasty, which is the correct lexicon for this food. I'm really honestly, I can't remember the last time I made a grilled cheese or cheese toasty. It's been, partially because
You have
my
a small
wife
child. You'll need to practice.
Well, and my wife is lactose intolerant, so we don't really eat much cheese stuff in general. And it's gotten to the point now where if I eat cheese, it just gives me stomach problems. So, I can't really say much on how to grill one to perfection. But for some reason, I feel like the Pokemon that would make the perfect grilled cheese would be Ludicolo, and I don't know why. I feel like Ludicolo would make a wonderful chef. Very very animated. I don't know. It seems right.
So that's all we have for today. I'd like to thank everybody that came on today. I know not everybody could make it today. Claude wanted to be here, but he's on vacation, and he got engaged. So good for him. So so good for him. Yeah, good for him. So we're gonna say bye to everybody. Bye, guys. Thanks for being here. And other than that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to end this show. So thank you to everybody who participated and listened. And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.